Sun in Leo. This is where life begins to radiate. After Cancer brings us inward into the emotional body, Leo comes in to express, to create, to shine. This is fixed fire. This is the energy of self expression, confidence, creativity, and the heart fully alive. So, when we're talking about individuals with the Sun in Leo, we are talking about people who are here to embody authenticity, to take up space unapologetically, and to learn what it truly means to lead from the heart. This is not quiet energy. This is not hidden energy. Leo is meant to be seen, not for validation, but for expression. There's a difference, and that difference is the entire journey of Leo. So if you have your Sun in Leo, your entire life is about learning how to express who you truly are without needing external approval, how to lead without ego control, and how to shine in a way that inspires rather than overshadows. Let's start with the core essence of Leo energy. The sun represents your identity, your vitality, your ego, your sense of I am. And Leo is ruled by the sun itself. So when the sun is in Leo, it's at home. The statement here becomes I am what I create. I am what I express. I am what I radiate. There is a deep connection here to the heart. Leo is not just about attention, it's about authentic self expression. It's about creating something from within and sharing it outward. And in its highest expression, this energy is incredibly powerful. Leo suns are confident, warm, generous, and naturally charismatic. They have a presence that fills a room, not because they are trying to, but because their energy is expansive. They inspire others simply by being themselves. There is also a deep creativity here. Leo is the artist, the performer, the storyteller. They are here to create, whether that's through art, business, leadership, or simply the way they live their life. They bring life into spaces. There is also a strong sense of loyalty. When a Leo sun loves, they love deeply. They are protective, supportive, and will show up fully for the people they care about. They give from the heart. And when they are aligned, they give without expectation. Now let's talk about the ego. Because Leo is ruled by the sun, the ego is a central theme here. The Leo ego is built around recognition and self expression. These individuals need to feel seen, appreciated, and acknowledged. But here's the truth, it's not about attention itself, it's about feeling valued for who they truly are. And this is where the shadow begins to show. Because when that validation is not coming from within, Leo may start seeking it externally. So in its lower expression, the sun in Leo can become attention seeking, validation dependent, and overly focused on how they are perceived. This can look like needing constant recognition, feeling overlooked easily, or becoming performative instead of authentic. There can also be pride, and pride, when unchecked, can block growth. Because if you feel you always have to be right, always have to maintain an image, it becomes difficult to admit mistakes or evolve. And another shadow expression is insecurity masked as confidence. Leo energy can appear strong on the outside, but if the inner foundation is not solid, there could be a deep fear of not being enough. So they may overcompensate, trying to prove their worth instead of simply embodying it. There can also be control. Because Leo is a natural leader, they may feel the need to direct everything, to be in charge, to have things go their way. And when that doesn't happen, it can create frustration. Now let's talk about identity development. Leo suns are here to discover who they truly are at their core. Not who they think they should be, not who others expect them to be, but who they actually are when they strip away external validation. And this is a journey because Leo often experiments with identity through expression. They try different versions of themselves, different styles, different roles, different ways of being. And through that, they begin to understand what feels authentic. But the challenge comes when they attach their identity to how others respond. Because if your sense of self is based on external feedback, it will always fluctuate. So the lesson here is self-validation. Learning to see yourself, to appreciate yourself, to acknowledge yourself without needing it from others first. Now let's move into relationships. Leo suns are passionate, expressive, and deeply romantic. They love love. They enjoy connection, affection, and shared experiences. They want to feel adored, and they also want to give that adoration in return. They are generous partners. They will go out of their way to make their loved ones feel special. But the challenge comes with ego dynamics because if they feel unappreciated, it can trigger insecurity. They may seek attention elsewhere. They may become dramatic or reactive. They may feel like they are giving more than they are receiving. There can also be a need for control in relationships, wanting things to go their way, wanting to lead the dynamic. So the growth here is balance, learning how to give without expectation, learning how to receive without dependency, and learning how to share space instead of dominating it. Now let's talk about navigating difficult energies. When Leo energy is out of balance, it becomes ego driven. So the first step is self awareness. Where are you seeking validation? Where are you performing instead of expressing? Where are you trying to control how others see you? Once you identify that, the work is to come back to your center, to reconnect with your heart, because Leo is heart energy. And when you are connected to your heart, you don't need to prove anything. Another important practice is creative expression. Leo needs an outlet. If you are not creating, your energy can become stagnant and misdirected. So, whether it's art, business, content, speaking, you need a space to express yourself, not for validation, but for release. You also need to work on humility. And this is not about dimming your light. It's about understanding that your light does not make you superior to others. It makes you responsible for how you show up. Because true leadership is not about control, it's about inspiration. Now let's talk about prevention. For Leo suns, prevention is about building inner confidence, not based on achievements, not based on recognition, but based on self awareness. Knowing who you are, what you stand for, what you value, and standing in that, regardless of external response. It's also about emotional honesty, admitting when you feel insecure, admitting when you need validation. Because when you acknowledge it, you can address it. But when you ignore it, it controls you. Another key is learning to share the spotlight, allowing others to shine, supporting others in their expression. Because when you do that, you create an environment of mutual empowerment. Now, in its highest form, the sun in Leo becomes a true leader, someone who leads from the heart, someone who inspires through authenticity, someone who shines not because they need to be seen, but because they are aligned. This is someone who understands that their presence has impact, and they use that impact intentionally. They create, they express, they uplift. So, your life path, if you have the sun in Leo, is about mastering self expression, not for approval, not for validation, but for truth. Learning how to stand in who you are, fully and unapologetically, without needing to prove it, without needing to defend it, just embodying it. And when you do that, your light becomes magnetic because it's real. And that's when everything shifts.